the Celtic origin story of the Irish. There were the Celts living around 2000 years ago in Britain and Ireland, and they had bards and druids telling stories about the origin of the Irish, and they were later written down by Christian monks. It goes like that. There were settlers. They were wiped out by a flood. Then there were male and female gods, the Parthenons. They fought against Fomorian monsters, but were wiped out by the plague. Then there came the Nemedians, also gods, and they were driven out by these Fomorian monsters. Then came the Furbolgs. These were humans with magic skills. And then came the Tuatha De Danann. These were godlike people. They defeated the Furbolgs and the Fomorian monsters. And then came the children of the Middle, and these are the ancestors of the Celts. And the Tuatha De Danann, they vanished so that they are not longer seen by the children of the Middle, who are the ancestors of the Celts. But they're still there this time. And these people, they had, for example, Cernusos, that was a god hunting human souls, but they were also doing necklaces, beautiful things out of gold called torque, with twisted gold and so on. This is according to Miles Kells' World History book on page 214 and 15. Hi, welcome. I'm trying to learn history. Today, the Celts in Ireland. Now that we've done it, we're going to do neck stretching. And if you participate in the neck stretching, then it's better to ask. The Celts in Ireland. Following the Roman invasion of Britain in the 1st century after Christ, the Celts were a people who lived mainly in Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, and northern France. Not so much in England, I would basically say. The Romans had invaded Britain and the England part mostly, and the Celts were now mostly in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, Cornwall, and southeastern England, northern France. Celtic myths were told as stories by poets called bards and priests called druids. Christian monks later wrote down the tales. So there were myths which the Celtic people were telling each other. There were poets with the name bards, so bards were telling them, and priests, but they had the name druids. And then later on, Christian monks wrote these tales down. In Celtic creation mythology, Ireland existed at the beginning of time and was the whole world. According to Celtic myth, the first people to settle in Ireland all died in a flood. The second race of settlers were male and female gods called the Parthenons. They fought off a race of invading monsters called the Fomorians before being wiped out by a plague. Now we're going on with the story, but first, what do we have here? So Ireland was existing at the beginning of time, and Ireland was the world. And when people came to Ireland, but they all died because of a big flood. When more people came, and these were gods, they were called Parthenons, but they were invaded. They could fight off monsters which were invading Ireland, but they died from the plague. Another race of gods called the Nemedians then settled in Ireland, but were forced out by Fomorian attacks. So after the Parthenon gods had settled there, who were able to resist the monsters, the Fomorian monsters, they died of the plague. When the Nemedian gods came, they were fighting against the Fomorian monsters, but they weren't successful against the Fomorian monsters. Tribes called the Furbolgs then invaded. These were humans who knew magic. After the first people have died, then the Parthenon gods died of a plague, fought against the monsters and died of a plague. When the Nemedian gods came, were forced out by the monsters, the Fomorian monsters. When the Furbolgs, which were humans, came, and they could do magic. A wise, skilled race of godlike people called the Tuatha De Danann arrived and defeated the Furbolgs and the Fomorians. After the Furbolgs were there, when the Tuatha De Danann came. And they were wise and skilled, and they defeated the Furbolgs, these human with magic skills, and the monster Fomorians. Finally, a race of humans called the Children of Mil invaded Ireland. They became the ancestors of the Celts. And then the Children of Mil invaded to Ireland, and they became the ancestors of the Celts, which are living there. When the Children of Mil settled in Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann used their magic powers to vanish from human sight, but have stayed in Ireland to this day. Okay, we're telling that the Tuatha De Danann, who were able to win against or to defeat the human with magic skills, the Furbolgs, and against the Fomorian monsters, they vanished because of these humans, but they still there, and just not visible. He's told you. Celtic tribes across Britain and Northern Europe worshipped a fearsome honored god who hunted human souls. One name for him was Cernunnos. So some people during Celtic times of Britain and Northern Europe were worshipping a god which was hunting human souls. It had horns and was, by some people saw different languages, called Cernunnos. The Celts made tools, weapons, armor, and jewelry from many different metals, decorated skillfully in intricate flowing patterns. This heavy twisted neckband is called a torque. I don't know how to pronounce it. A torque. So that is a torque. Okay, they could make tools and weapons and armor and jewelry from different metals, and for example, such a neckband did make. That was history part to Ireland history, what it was. If you were here for history, you can go directly to the next part of history. Then we'll read it all again and try to make a little presentation about what we read just there. If you stay here and participate in the neck stretching, good and stable standing stance, and breathe in and reach the fingertips as far to the sides as possible. Down again. Now reach your front. High up. And back. Down. Feet together, arms to the sides, and circle around. In the other direction. Down. Arms, legs to the sides. Turn up, shoulders back, breathe in. And out and bring my head out to one shoulder. And the chin down onto the back. Breathe in. Lift the gaze and turn it over to the other side. Breathe out. Chin down onto the back. Breathe in, lift the gaze. Over to the other side again. Breathe halfway out and then circle the head. Breathe in. Halfway out and then circle back in. Have feet standing together. No, not. Have the palms together, the elbows together. Breathe in and reach up. Out, down. In and up. And down. Breathe in the arms back and out and front. In and back and out and front. And have the feet now standing together, intertwine the fingers behind the back, shoulder up, shoulders back, breathe in. And out, bring the head over to one shoulder, chin down to the clavicle, pull with the hands onto the ground. Breathe in, lift the gaze, turn it over to the other side, breathe again in. Out, chin down onto the clavicle, and pull with the hands down onto the ground. Breathe in, lift the gaze, back into the middle. Feet wide up, intertwine the fingers and bring them over to side behind the back. Hold in, shoulders up, breathe in. And out the head over to one shoulder, chin down onto the clavicle, and pull the other shoulder in and down. Breathe in, lift the gaze. Turn it over to the other side, hands over to the other side, hold up, breathe in. Out, chin down onto the clavicle, breathe out, and pull the other shoulder in and down. Breathe in, lift the gaze, back into the middle. Have the feet staying together, one arm behind the back, breathe in the other one up. And out to bring the head over, down, pull it head. Breathe in. And out, hand back down. Breathe in the other hand up. Out, bring it over. Breathe in. And out, look to the hand on top of the head. And then breathe in the hands up. Out, lean back, draw the shoulder blades together. In and up. Out and back, draw the shoulder blades together. In and up, intertwine the fingers of each eye. Out to reach the front hollow of the back, head down. In and up, change the intertwining. Out in the front. In and up. Out and back, draw the shoulder blades together. In and up. Out and back, draw the shoulder blades together. Elbows down. And up. And lean back with long arms. In and up. Out and back again. In and up. Out the hands down. Breathe in and up again. Out and down. In and up. Bring the hands to touch the lower and down to heart center. It was neck stretching. I thank you very much and have the next time.